Alrighty, morning everyone, and welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel on another beautiful day. So you might have noticed, or maybe not, whatever, that I have not uploaded a lot of videos in the last couple of weeks. Like the occasional one with some topic that I thought would maybe be interesting and that I wanted to make a video about, but no actual scrapping. And the reason for that is pretty simple. I can, at this very moment, not continue to do my normal sized scrap business at its normal capacity, or pretty much at all. So I wanted to talk with you about that and about the things that I did very wrong when I went at this business, and that is not really with the financial side of everything. It was going decently well and things like that, but I have made another crucial mistake that every single one of you that thinks about going into scrapping or doing anything with scrapping related to making money should avoid at all costs. And I did not, and that was a a pretty stupid mistake, and that is the main reason why I cannot continue to run my business at that scale that I did before. But one thing I will say, like right off the start, I will not stop making videos. If anything, I will be creating more videos now, and I will also not stop scrapping completely, but I will stop doing it almost entirely commercially to the extent that I have been doing it before. So why is that? I've talked about that in another video where we scrapped one of those massive 60 kilo transformers, and I've just touched it a little bit, and that was the part with health issues related to scrapping. And I talked to you about how it might not be feasible to do this kind of work for my entire life, and that I am saving up because of that and investing my money as well, basically as wisely as I can to secure myself basically against that. And I didn't just say that because it came to my mind or because I was like, yeah, well, maybe that would be a good idea. No, I said that because most of you probably already guessed that, I did have some health-related issues in connection with scrapping. And I didn't poison myself or anything, or breathe in anything that destroyed some organ or something like that, which you can definitely do, so I would not recommend that. But it was more like a very practical thing. You know that I do a lot of heavy work without a lot of heavy machinery. I basically only use hand tools and some power tools, yeah, sure, when it's possible, but usually hammer and chisel and stuff like that is the stuff that I used to use mostly. And when you can look at my arms, right? They are not the most thick arms ever. And when you're swinging a 2 kilo hammer all day on stuff that is really hard, things start to deteriorate over time, let's call it that. It got to the point where I could pretty much hold a hammer and swing a hammer only when I was wearing one of those things. So this is pretty much a stabilization device for your wrist. Keeps your wrist where it's supposed to be, like straight, so you can't move it this way and that way. And there's some metal pieces in here that keep your wrist straight. And I could only really do the amounts of scrapping that I was doing with this thing. Now, I wasn't wearing that in the videos, but that was because the stuff in the videos I was doing especially for the videos and specifically for the videos. And so I just didn't wear them there, but you know, you can also like add up all of my videos and you see that they don't add up to a lot of money that I've made in total with just the stuff that I did in the videos. So I was doing a lot of stuff outside of the videos, obviously, because I was making like a normal income from scrapping. So that got to the point where my wrists and also my knees and my back just hurt like constantly, no matter like what I did. You know, everyone knows that scrapping is tough stuff to do when you're doing it like on this stuff, not just like street scrapping, which is lifting stuff, you know, and then selling them off. Street scrapping is mostly fun. This scrapping is like, it's really, really, really hard work. Like, you don't get an idea of how hard of work this really is until you do it. It's very dirty. It's really, really hard on your joints, as that shows. It's really work that, it makes sense that this is the kind of stuff that usually gets driven off to third world countries, even though that's a very, very bad thing, because we should deal with our problems ourselves and not push them to other people, for them to deal with that with way worse health conditions and stuff like that. So definitely a really bad thing. So I definitely don't regret doing it. But this is not something you can do over a long period of time. Now, most of you probably think, yeah, well, but you've got this thing, right? This keeps your wrists straight. Yes, it does. And that's also an issue, because if you think about it, like these metal pieces, like they don't go out of the way, right? You've got them like your hand goes in there like this. You've got this one that pushes into this part of your hand, and you've got this other piece on top that pushes into here. And when you're swinging a hammer and your wrist would normally like collapse because you hit something really hard, it basically just drives these two bones into the metal thing inside here. So you can imagine that's not very comfortable. And more than one time, my hand was completely like bluish purple on top of here, completely swollen on both sides. I had that a few times. And right now, I'm just at the point where I'm saying, I can't do that anymore. Because I'm not very old, like at all. I've left school only a few years ago. So I'm not a very old person. I've been doing scrapping for a long time, but that's because I've been doing it for most of my life. Right? So I really just thought to myself, I can't do that level of work for the rest of my life. Otherwise, my life is most likely going to be A, very short, B, pretty miserable, or C, a combination of both that I also don't really look forward to. So what's the situation right now? I will not be doing the heavy amounts of scrapping that I did before anymore. I will be doing the occasional transformer scrapping and stuff like that once I am back in a health condition that I think is healthy, with all my joints and stuff like that, where they don't constantly get infected and stuff like that and hurt. Like, you know what? Once that is the case, I will start doing that again occasionally. I won't do it as a major business anymore. I will also not be completely overpowering myself with that stuff. So yeah, that's definitely a thing, because like people that have never tried this way of scrapping, which most people haven't, I have not seen anyone on YouTube, like really, like besides people in very, very poor countries. And I honestly don't really like watching those videos, honestly, because they make me sad, because that's basically our trash that we should be responsible for. These people have to do this kind of work, and I know what it means to do this kind of work. I even have like power tools and stuff. They don't have that, so they've got it worse. But this kind of work is not something you can do on a longer period of time, over a longer period of time, at least not to the extent that I've been doing it. So heavy lifting and stuff like that, that's something completely different, right? You can have good form with that. You can take care of yourself. It's just lifting, right? I can do that all day long. Like, that's not an issue. Lifting these heavy things, that's not the problem. The problem is doing all kinds of different movements connected to scrapping that your joints just aren't supposed to do. Like, it's one thing to just hammer like this, right? But sometimes you do it like this. You do it only with your wrist because you gotta get somewhere. You somehow wedge your tongs in somewhere and yank your wrists and things like that. Like all kinds of stuff, right? That you should not be doing, especially not when you're under like a heavy load of a transformer, like 20, 25 kilos. Just, you shouldn't do stuff like that, but yet you kind of have to if you're doing it like that. So this unhealthy way of scrapping, I will not go back to. Never. It just doesn't make any sense. So right now, yes, most of you have probably guessed it, I'm pretty much out of work. So I don't really make a lot of money anymore. And yet I somehow need to pay for stuff, right? I mean, that's the thing nowadays. You gotta kind of pay for things. So I want to tell you, don't worry about me. It's fine. As I said, I invested the money that I made pretty wisely. I have very few recurring expenses every month. So it's fine, right? I can deal with that. Like, there's no problem there. It's a bit unfortunate that I make way less now than I have with scrapping. But I'm doing some other things on the internet and stuff like that, so I am fine. I'm not making a lot of money anymore. And I am, at the moment, I make more than that, but at the moment I'm living on approximately $250 to $300 a month, including everything. You know that I don't have a car, so that's a big cost savings, but like everything, like food and water and electricity and heating and all kinds of things like that, right? Everything. So it's going pretty good. I'm probably going to make some more videos about that as well, because I think that's also like useful. I mean, we are all about making money here, and the money that you save is essentially also money that you might. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. I will be making some more videos about that. I think it's going to be interesting. I will also be making some videos about all kinds of other interesting stuff that is going around here. And obviously, I will also be making some very interesting, hopefully scrap-related videos where we will be scrapping out specific like things just in general that I come across. Nothing too excessively exhausting and stuff like that, but just like normal scrapping of normal things. Just figuring out if things are worth scrapping and stuff like that. Pretty much the kind of smaller little videos that we did a while back, and I think that's going to be really, really cool. I definitely won't be stopping to do these videos, to do scrapping and to do scrapping videos on this channel, but I will also be doing some other stuff that I think is just interesting or that I'm just up to, whatever. And I think we're going to do just fine with that. So if you just take away one thing from this video, take care of yourself. When you're doing scrapping like this, really make sure that you don't overdo it. Make sure that you listen to your body, make sure that you listen to all the things that might feel a little bit off, or that you might feel you didn't do right with your body and stuff like that. Just be careful, because you're not gonna get your body back once you destroy it, right? It's not worth the money to do that. So honestly, if I would go at it again, probably do it with way more power tools, even though that takes a significant upfront investment of a few thousand dollars, but that would make it a little bit more easy. Still, like the stuff that I did, power tools wouldn't have made it a lot more easy, a bit more easy, but not a terribly large amount. So keep that in mind. Really take care of your body. Don't do that mistake, because that kind of stuff is not really reversible once you pass a certain point. And I did this for a long time, not knowing what that point might be. And I'm pretty happy that I hope that I stopped this problem before it became anything severe. So yeah, this is pretty much what I'm up to at the moment. I hope that you understand that I wasn't really able to do a lot of more videos, because I really just had to figure out, okay, what am I actually going to do now, right? It's not a very easy thing to decide, but I'm confident that I can do that. I'm confident that I can go in a similar but not as extreme direction as before, and just kind of continue on. Because I really love what we have, for example, accomplished here in our community. I really like that, and I really like everything connected to that, and I will definitely not be stopping to engage with that. Yeah, let's put it that way. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you got something from it, and I wish you all a fantastic week. Have a great summer and everything related to that, and yeah. Thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video or dislike it, whatever you might want to do. And also subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any other videos. As I said, I've got some really cool things coming, and I think that any one of you is going to be interested in those, hopefully. If not, oh well then, but I'm still going to do my very best. And yeah, so I'll see you soon. Have a fantastic week, and until next time.